So what is my thoughts about the Shoei Neotec 3 that I have here on the table? And above all, how is possible that my Shoei Neotec 3 is basically a helmet of $1,300 because of this small bit of plastic that I have installed on my visor? If you want to know that and much more, stay tuned after the intro. Hi everyone, Marcus here from madpack, and if you are mad for tech, this is the place for you. And today we are going to talk about the Shoei Neotec 3 and what is my thoughts about this one after being riding for about 500 kilometers. So the first thing that I want just to share with you guys is this helmet is definitely one of the heaviest helmets that I ever tried, because obviously having something that is modular like this is going to increase also the weight of it. But you may want to know, is it comfortable or not? And if I compare this to my most recent helmets, this helmet is about 100 grams heavier than my previous helmets, but after a couple of rides you don't feel it anymore because the weight distribution is really good. But definitely on the first times that you'll be trying to ride with the Shoei Neotec 3, you'll feel that difference of weight, but not really significant after 1, 2, 3 rides that you have done with this helmet. When we talk about how quiet is the Shoei Neotec 3, I have to say to you guys that until today is one of the most quiet helmets that I had. Obviously, having a helmet that is modular, once again, is going to also increase the noise that you get inside your helmet, but even removing, obviously, the covers that you have next to your ears to install the SLR3 that we'll talk about it in another video, the sound of it inside the helmet is quite comfortable. The other thing that you may want to know is about the ventilations that you have on the front, that they are very easy to access, to open and close, and the top ones that they are also very easy to open and close. And I have to say to you guys that you can feel definitely the air coming through the top part, but here on the front I have to say that you don't feel too much. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is this helmet is the one that I feel more air coming through the top, but is also the one when it's completely closed that I feel warmer. So in other words, the big reasons for that is that these pads and this bottom part here is going to be tighter, so it's going to make that the amount of air that reaches the back of your head is going to be less, making this helmet on this section warmer than any helmet that I tried until today. So one of the big questions that you can have for yourself is, should you purchase a Neotec 3 or a modular helmet? Because when you choose to go to a modular helmet, that makes the price increase like hell. And when we talk about the Shoei Neotec 3, is definitely the most expensive modular helmet that you can purchase, but that is a big reason why I went and I purchased this one. So the first reason why I choose this one is because I had the possibility to test all the modular helmets that you have on the market, at least the most significant. I'm talking about the Schuberth one and the one that you have from AGV. And none of them could give me the comfort and the fitting around my head like Shoei could deliver to me. And another thing that makes Shoei unique is the fact that these pads, they can be completely interchanged to different sizes until the fitting is perfectly fine for the size of your head. But there is also another reason why I purchased this one, is the fact that in the long run, the pads of Shoei helmets have tendency to last much longer than if you choose an AGV or if you choose a Schuberth helmet. So another question that I saw a lot of people asking, is it easy to basically open and close this section with just one hand? And I have to say that is not the easiest one. The best one is the Schuberth one, that you just press on the bottom and you push up. And in this case here, you need to press down and push up. But you basically are just squeezing the bottom of your helmet and pulling up. Even if you are using the gloves, you'll be able to close and open the front part of your helmet without a problem. So if you want to put an intercom, a Bluetooth intercom into your helmet, is it easy to install? Yes or no? And I have to say to you guys that I'm not a fan of it because it's going to affect the wind noise that you have with your helmet. So I always prefer a solution like I have here, the SLR3. And one of the other questions that you can have is it possible to install a SLR2 if you have bought it for example, the Shoei Neotec 2? And the answer is no, because as you can see, these have a much smaller profile than the SLR2. When we talk about cleaning the visor and also the sun visor that you have on the inside, I have to say to you guys that is super easy to clean. Since this helmet is modular, is much easier than cleaning a full face helmet. So even if the Schuberth C5X was a much better price than this one, I definitely couldn't purchase that one because it was definitely the worst helmet that I tried on my head. So for my head profile, that is quite a small head, and I don't have a quite large head, I found that it was too much space between my head and the helmet. If I compare this one to the AGV Sport Modular, I have to say to you guys that in price is a massive difference, because that one in some colors, at least here in the UK, you can buy with the intercom incorporated, and it's already a good one, a Cardo one that costs about £200 here in the UK. So definitely a massive plus that you have with the AGV Sport Modular. But I didn't like it, the comfort line that you have on that one. Yes, it's more comfortable, but it feels much softer. So for experience, when you have a pads that are super soft, they have tendency to break too much. We know that the liners of Shoei have tendency to last for easily between 5 to 10 years, depending how often you use it and how well you treat your helmet. So that was a massive reason why I decided to purchase this one and not the AGV Sport Modular. If you have a Shoei Neotec 2, you may ask yourself if you should purchase the Shoei Neotec 3 or not. And I have to say to you guys, if I was myself and the helmet is still in good conditions, it's not really worth it. Obviously, you have more protection because it's going to compensate rotation if you have a crash. But at the same time, the protection that you have with the 2205, it's more than enough, to be completely honest. And if it's still in good condition, it's very similar, just with small changes, like the visor goes slightly lower, the sun visor that you have on the inside, so it basically touches your nose, and on the Shoei Neotec 2 it doesn't happen, and it looks a little bit more aggressive here on the back of the helmet. Overall, I think that if your Shoei Neotec 2 is still in good condition, I will definitely not upgrade right now to a Shoei Neotec 3. So do I feel that the Shoei Neotec 3 is a heavy helmet, since when you have the SLR3 inside this helmet, we are talking about basically 1,800 grams. And yes, you feel that weight, but if the distribution of weight is really good, and is definitely really good here if you choose the right fitting, I don't feel that 1,800 grams is really a deal breaker. I definitely feel that this modular experience is really a deal breaker when you come from a full face helmet experience like I've been using for the last 6 years. Another question that you can have for yourself is, it easy to fog these lenses and even my glasses, because when I'm using my helmets, I'm always with glasses? And the answer is no, because you have this nose piece that you can install that will make that the air on the front goes towards your lenses, and in that way, when you are breathing, your air goes down. So in other words, that allows that the different of temperatures will go in different directions. So you have colder air touching your lenses, and the hot air from your breathing goes down, making that even my glasses, they don't fog as much as it was before with my previous helmets. So when we talk about wind noise, I have to say to you guys that is not bad on the Shoei Neotec 3. It's better than many full face helmets that I have, but obviously on the market you have better options, because when you choose a modular helmet, you know that the wind noise will be more predominant since you have more moving parts on your helmet. Another question that you may have is about this locking mechanism that I have to say to you guys I really like, and even this strap is exactly the right size for my neck. Many times the soft part, it was too long in other helmets, and this one is exactly the length that I need, and I never feel this part touching my skin. So definitely a plus and something that I like, and I found super easy to open this and to close. And also I feel that this is as safe as a D-ring, but some of you guys may not like this type of design. So when we talk about the field of view, I have to say to you guys that is insane on the Shoei Neotec 3, and you can make it even better if you basically remove this nose piece here, allowing that you can easily look down to the floor. So definitely a plus with the Shoei Neotec 3. When we talk about obviously the sound system from Sena, the SLR3, I simply love it how minimalist it is. It's much smaller than the previous generation, the SLR2, and I'll do a proper video about this one, but I like that you have the controls in one of the sides, and here you have basically your mesh system that will allow you to connect up to 24 riders if I'm not wrong. The helmet on my neck is one of the shorter that I ever had in my life. In other words, this is going to be more comfortable with those type of jackets that you have a hoodie on, and in that way you'll not feel the pressure between the jacket and the helmet, so definitely a plus. Another thing that I had issues in the past with helmets was the fact that if I had my vents open, I could feel some water going to my mouth or feeling coming down from the top of the helmet. But until today, I didn't have any issues whatsoever with the Shoei Neotec 3. As I have already mentioned on this video, the worst thing on this helmet is definitely how tight is the pads on the back, and when is the summer is definitely the worst experience that I had, because I feel the neck really hot with this helmet. So if you use a lot in hot days, the Shoei Neotec 3 maybe is not the best solution for you. Another question that I saw you guys asking online is if I should buy this one if I want to use it open, and I have to say to you guys that I don't see the problem, but obviously if you want to use this open all the time, you have solutions like some helmets from Shark that you can put this portion here on the back of your head, so it will be more ergonomic if you are running multiple times with the helmet open. I don't do very often. I open just for a couple of minutes or when I just come out of the motorbike, and in that way it will make that the Shoei Neotec 3 is a perfect solution for me. Last but not least, and this one is really important for me that I use glasses when I'm riding, is the fact that I can run with the helmet completely open, or during the winter I can just open slightly and I just have a bit more air going inside. It's super comfortable. And with other helmets I have tendency to be a little bit more open in one side than the other, and my glasses, they start to fog in one of the lenses. But in here, the amount of air that goes in as extra is perfect, and is definitely a massive bonus that I feel with the Shoei Neotec 3. But now you may ask to yourself, how is possible that my helmet costs basically $1,300? And one of the reasons that makes the price going up on my Shoei Neotec 3 is definitely the Sena SLR3 that I'll do a video really soon after this one. And the other reason is this bit of plastic that I install and I drill on my visor to give me a feature that any helmet can provide. And we are talking about the bike guard helmet wiper that I have here on my hand. So if you want to know a little bit more about this helmet wiper that I have installed into my Shoei Neotec 3, stay tuned for the next couple of videos, because really soon I'll be talking about this device that makes my life much easier and I feel much safer when it's raining. My name is Marco, this is madpack. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, comment below, smash the thumbs up, do whatever you want, but always with a smile on your face. And I hope to see you next week to talk a little bit more about the Sena SLR 3.